Hello, everybody. This is Rebecca Freedom, and this is episode number 57 of Heard Not Seen, produced by John Beethan. Today, we are going to be talking about the everlasting, such important lesson of trusting yourself. And for today, I would like to entrust myself to you. So throughout the podcast, we'll be trying on a bunch of different accents because you know what? Let's not be bored as fuck. Let's just jump on in and have good time. So we start with a Russian accent. I go to healer. How many of you you've been sick, ailment in head, and you think, I'll go to healer, I give money. I give money to healer, I feel better. I drink this drink. They say ayahuasca, mama vine. I drink, I see things, I come back. I still have to pay bills on Monday. Still bills to be paid. Bullshit. All of it bullshit. Nothing fixed. I still have to go on with life. This is fucking ridiculous. It's better to sit in corner and drink vodka and be happy than to go to these freaking healers. You know what I just say. John, you understand.
Yeah, I drink vodka. Actually, it's tequila most of the time, but actually not that very often.
But yeah, just aside from my little side note, Russian Polish person saying that, yeah, how many of us go to these, like the gypsies and the healers and the tarot card readers and the Akashic record people and the Kundalini specialists and the Tantra people and the freaking in the festivals focus on intimacy / covering up like sex addiction. Like how many, what are we searching for? What are we searching for, people, man? What's the great beyond?
Yeah. What are we wanting to get that we're not getting in our life or that we couldn't create ourselves?
Yeah, it's a great question. What are we not getting from life that we not create ourselves? Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm going to keep talking then. So it's like, you want something for life, you first have to give it.
You got to give it. You got to give it out. So, okay. All right. Let's drop it. I'm going to save you all hundreds of thousands of dollars. He says to give. What does that mean? $100,000. What do it mean to give to life? To give to life is to fucking meditate, people. It's not that hard. We avoid all day long with our distractions. If you'll sit and you do the thing. Oh, that's a new accent coming out. I don't know what that was. If you just stop and breathe. Okay, just stop, have a minute, like, taste your coffee, chill the hell out, have your bagel, get on with life. Just breathe, slow down, have a minute.
And it's the greatest app in the world. You can take it anywhere. It costs you nothing. And it will never get hacked.
It won't ever no. I mean, side note, chemtrails might hack your lungs a little bit. There's been some of that this year, a little wheezing, a little weirdness in the air. But, it's life. We're all on this polluted planet together. This polluted planet. So, okay, let's just drop some truth. Here's the story. Because life is not linear. It's not this like, I go to school, then I get out of school, then I get the job, then I get the wife, the kids, the dog, and I die. There's stuff that happens in between. A lot of people were trying to shove into the box, or shove it into the box, and just and be happy. I just want to be happy, and I want to learn to manifest, and I want to be the law of attraction people. Oh my God. I can't even with this shit anymore. Okay, so therapy is really helpful. Therapy is a helpful thing. It's helpful to have connection, one person connected to the other, where you get to pay money and have 100% attention put onto you. Great. Love it. Do it. Suggest it. In fact, call me. I will cut through the bullshit and we'll get you on track. But there's all these other things. There's Reiki, little energy cleansing, little sprinkling of the crystals and the gems. And listen, we study this stuff scientifically in the field of quantum physics and other things that I never studied in school. They have traced that, hands-on healing has an effect on the cells in the body. We're resonant, we're vibration, we're energy, thoughts are things. # Bruce Lipton, show notes. Bruce, old Brucey boy, said thoughts are things and they actually change your physical reality. And so Listen, I'm talking to you, Mr. like anxiety prone, future fixated, what's going to happen next, dread at 3 a.m, driving down the street feeling that forever empty, lost, like your life means nothing, because it doesn't. Shocker. I'm just going to, we can have a little Alan Watts tea and chat over this. Your life means what you make it mean. It's going to be real simple about that. Your life means what you make it mean. And the meaning that you make from life often is informed by your environment. And so here we go, folks. You know what we're all doing here? You know what we're all doing on Earth? Perpetuating the human condition. Just a long, strong perpetuation of the human condition. And I'll tell you something about the human condition. The Irish know how to suffer the human condition like nobody else out there. The Irish and the Scottish just get around, we drink, we loathe, and we go ahead and hate anybody who's Protestant or Catholic. I don't even know which one. We haven't even decided, but we first fight for the sake of fucking fighting. And that's a bit of the human condition. You see it in cultures all across the globe. Everyone fighting for nothing. For what we're fighting for survival. We're stuck. We're damn dirty apes. We're just sitting here surviving one day to the next, figuring out what the hell am I supposed to do with my life? What the hell am I supposed to do? And then I want to talk to the depressed people in the crowd. The depressed people. The people that are like, everyone else gets what I want. I never get what I want. I'm so jealous of everybody. Let me spend my life on social media, which, by the way, apparently, #new to me today, Facebook is dying. It's dying a slow death that started in 2015. They call it old book now. And Instagram is like, poof, it's the next thing. Yay, Facebook is dying. So social media is taking a turn towards picture books, folks. That's right. We're just feeding our fucking complexes via Instagram and comparison. So how do you trust yourself? And what is yourself? Oh yeah, I'm going deep. What are you? What are you? What is yourself? What is it? Okay, well, first of all, look down at your body. That amalgamation, that mass of cells housing your archetypes and your psyche and your psychotic, neurotic freaking nature. Part of who you are is your body. A lot of people say you are not your body. Then what are you? Because I'm pretty sure that your soul is the thing, your infinite soul is the thing animating your body. So, does an infinite being need money? No. Does an infinite being need love? No. Does an infinite being need approval? Does an infinite being need anything? Wants, needs, or whatever? No. Zero. But guess what needs something? Your body. It needs food, touch, movement. It needs to be directed. It needs to be able. It needs love. It needs the sex. It needs to have the sex, the penis, and the dick, whatever, some penetration that feels good. That's very, how you say, consensual. Yes. Both parties agree. Doesn't have to turn out exciting for both, but for a good time, you get bumped together. That's what your body needs. Money is for your body. The currency, the exchange of money, the exchange of energy that we do, the waking up and giving our time and like consciously placing our body in cubicles or in front of laptops and coffee shops or wherever you're directing your body, you're like this orchestrator and you have this fine symphony in front of you and you are directing your body with your thoughts. Body, I'd like to go on a date now. What experience would your body like to have? What do you want? What do you want to, this year I was like, well, it'd be really cool to maybe own a ranch and have a couple animals, have a spouse that was just cool as shit. Just, he has a rad job in like the entertainment field or something like that, but he also is into like the farming and we have a good time and we got our fur babies and of all sorts. And yeah, Europe sounds pretty good too. Maybe I'll go visit some churches. My body's like, yeah, I'd like that. That would feel good. Be simple. But we do that. And then this little thing called the monkey mind comes in. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you just don't have enough money. Well, what are you going to do? And then, your parents told you that you would never amount to anything. So you're just going to have to stay stuck in the same job, doing the same thing, fucking the same person, being lonely and regretful. Great. Cool. Thanks. Old programming. Thank you. Hello, inner critic. And okay, so I just went to a healer, and that's why I'm coming off of this like trust yourself thing. 90% of what was said in the session about my, tarot card type or my astrology type or my numerology type, I could have gotten in 10 minutes of meditating and being in communion with God or higher spirit. Shocker, right? Oh, I'm a little aggressive. You think? Oh, my path is to learn partnership. Well, I'm a breakup fucking specialist. Okay. My God. Here's the fun part though. And this is where John's going to jump in. We're going to put him on the spot. We're going to quiz. We are going to give you quiz. He's eating ginger snap right now.
I'll jump in. I just need to let this ginger snap melt slowly in my mouth until I get to the ginger. But go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay. So 90 minutes of my life, actually almost 2 hours of my life, and a credit card investment, by the way. Not just living on credit, like, meh, fuck it. They'll swipe $200 for this. Then I left the office and I was like, man, 5 minutes of meditation, that would have handled that. But this is the homework that I was given, that I was left with, because ultimately there was a nugget, a very good nugget in there that said, if you continue to cope in life the way you did as a child to deal with your parents, the parental structure, if that same coping mechanism is something you do in adulthood, it will hurt you. It will continue to hurt you. So how did you cope when how did your mother cope when she was stressed? I was like, well, she was aggressive as shit. Like she had drop down, drag out fights with my dad. And then we discovered my issue is when I'm stressed, when I am out of my conscious mind and I'm in my limbic system and I'm just in my like animal fight, flight, freeze, fuck or faint system. We're getting to the question. I turn on myself and I'm aggressive against myself and aggressive against other people. So she's like, here's the elixir. What's the opposite of aggression? I was like, compassion. She's like, okay, your homework is to ask those who you know, how, assuming that I am, how am I compassionate towards you?
Great question. And for all those people listening out there that know Rebecca, we fully expect you to go to heardnotseen.com and let her know from the contact page. That just bought me some time.
It's compassion, right? Like, is that something you feel as if I've demonstrated in your direction?
It's real interesting. I experience your compassion when I have an insight about you, and I let you know that you become very compassionate for yourself, which is awesome. Because most of the time people are going, oh, compassion with others, but it starts with yourself. So there's just, there's been some moments where I just kind of had this aha moment and I expressed it with you and sort of flat, not a whole lot of emotion, but just sort of, this is what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. And you just sort of melted into that realization. And I think I love compassion. I love it. Mother Teresa, she knew some things.
Thank you. This is my homework. This is my project to collect these things. The word you said is so sweet, is melt. Is like barriers, barriers down. I really come into this awareness, especially with this last odyssey of relationship, that judgment is actually not a useful coping mechanism. It's not helpful.
If I may, I have my aha moments myself. So something that happened with me last week was I had an aha moment that judgment, people are throwing that word around like crazy, and I'm getting sick of it. So I just sort of let it go. And, people that know me know that a lot of times I view judgment as, that's fine. I'm going to judge and be prepared to be judged. That sort of levels the playing field. But was able to take it, I had this aha moment last week where I realized judgment is prejudice.
Testify. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Judgment is prejudice.
Well, anybody out there that, I realized I I had some thoughts about another person. And first thing, judgment, the word judgment came up, but I started to dig deep into it and really investigate it and feel it. Where was it in my body? Mm-hmm. And I realized that there was a prejudice. There was a certain prejudice against, we sort of align prejudice with color, but not necessarily.
So I want to add to that to say that prejudice, a judgment, a prejudging of that person is that you have already assumed, you made the assumption or conclusion that that person is a threat to your well-being and your body is going to react in an animal instinct, fight, flight, fuck, freeze, or faint. That their thought, behavior, way of being, energy that they are in the world is somehow threatening you. Now, the difference between judgment and discernment is it ends that they're threatening you and you have to resist, react, or align and agree with that person. Like you'll align and agree to like kind of be like, okay, cool, I'll just keep the peace, or you'll resist and react and you can be aggressive. Ding, 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 me. Like, hell no. More than that, you got childhood issues and you need to go therapy. I can't fix you, but I'll try. That's the judgment, like coming out in a real aggressive way. Discernment is much softer, and it's owning your process of like, I'm going to set some barriers here to some boundaries, and I'm going to manage expectations, right? So a much softer way of doing that is if a person shows up and they have a particular perspective of the world that feels off. My favorite one is the giant cesspool that is fucking spiritual bypassing, pervasive in Boulder, Colorado, and in Encinitas, California. I'm just going to do this drug and I'm going to be fucking enlightened. No, you're not. Okay.
So we're talking, what, ayahuasca?
Well, whatever.
Sort of whatever?
Yeah, whatever. We're just talking about, people can do what they can do. Ibogaine, ayahuasca, freaking acid, any of the hallucinogenics, ketamine, and go into a K-hole, whatever.
Would you agree that for the most part, for a lot of these people, or, I'll speak for myself and say for me, it was numbing. So people do addiction to be numbed. Mm-hmm. And that, it's like, it's cloaked under spiritualism and awareness and everything else, but same people keep going back and doing the same thing. To me,
this is my favorite part. I saw a meme today to address that said, some guy tells you he's spiritual, you're like, yeah, well, demons are spiritual, so what else you got?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh.
Yeah, what else you got? Woo. So the point of all of this is that are we asking, is truth relative, or is there an absolute truth? Hello Descartes, hello Hume, hello Kant, hello early, I said Kant, not Kant, hello early philosophers, hello existentialists. We're going to dig into that question. Is there an absolute truth, and is there a relative truth? I invite people to the answer. I'm not going to give you the answer, but I will say that...
Hang on. Yeah. If there's a right answer and a wrong answer, then there is truth.
Well, the thing about it is that we have levels of truth. The first is to be the seeker, the one who's doing the ayahuasca, the acid, that's expanding consciousness, is going into altered states and saying, oh, look, there's another level of existence experience that I can have in this physical body as a spiritual being, and I can stretch out into these etheric places, but also come back and do my 9 to 5. Great. Level 1. Level 2 is managing your thoughts, the pervasive inner critic that we were talking about, that is just like, I need to get something outside of myself to feel whole inside of myself. Let me go through the cycles and rhythms of being in relationship and having those break apart, and being in a job and having that fall apart, or being in this particular system and having that fall apart. The very intellectualization of life and the filtering through that particular framework and vibration. Great. So you go from seeker, who's in altered states of reality, into mastery over your mind, over the mind. And again, I said meditation, one of the greatest tools ever to gain mastery over your mind. And plus it's so cheap, John, just breathing and paying attention to our breath. Sit down, pay attention to breath, no distractions, basic.
Mm-hmm. And even without sitting down, just walking, paying attention to your body walking meditation.
Basic and profound. Next level of mastery, next level up. Hello, emotions, emotion, the outsourcing, the out energy of your body. So you have all these molecules swirling around in your body, all these hormones being like, bing, bang, boom, be awake, go to sleep, feel aroused, don't feel aroused, get attached, don't get attached. Okay, well, guess what? To quote someone I once was nemesis with, but now feel okay about, mind, watch, body. We'll put that in the show notes. Mind, watch the body. Yeah, go ahead and get some mastery over that. So you have mental and emotional. And then if you really feel you're feeling auspicious in this lifetime after you've put away the drugs to alter your mind and alter your substance, you get into this place of just your you-ness, your isness, the full embodiment of spirit in the body where you don't leave. And so I want to just admit this to everybody. This is a little confession. I don't like being human. Not into it. Not a huge fan. Not a big fan. Like if I were to give it a Yelp review, I'd say maybe like 2. Like 2.5 stars. The ambience is okay, but the freaking meal sucks. You got to choke it down.
So what are you looking for?
Well, I am discovering that, because what I'm looking for is, I think, to tap into the energy of allowance and a willingness and a receptivity to be able to receive and not resist this life that I'm living. I today in my healing, they're like, your life path is all about partnership and really learning partnership, like what that actually means. And for the first time in my life, I'm moving out of dysfunction to whatever degree to say like, hey, codependency has been a very real energy I've replicated, duplicated, and cast into my future time and time again. And I just keep doing the same stupid pattern. Maybe if I look at that and I start to be asked the question, what is healthy relationship? Well, that would make me a little bit more invested in being human. Well, if I learn what healthy relationship is, cool. Maybe I can create that for myself, and I can have my spouse and my ranch and maybe go to Europe.
So you actually mean healthy relating?
Healthy relating, but specifically in a marriage, specifically in the constructs of monogamous marriage relationship. I can healthy relate with people that I don't have to live with. But when you put me and somebody else under the same roof or the same commitment, the dysfunction monkeys just come up. They're just like, oh no.
I really think you ought to do the rehab dating game.
Yeah. Big score on the level of codependency. You're just all like, yeah, and healthy relationship. That may become a thing. So I want to ground this in to say, oftentimes I pontificate and go all over the place in the podcast, but I want to drop the central point here is that from an early age, if you just practice meditation religiously, consistently, not that it is a dogma or anything like that, but it is a way of being with your body. Your body is your soulmate. Your body is your twin flame. Your body is your lifelong partner. The love of your life is your body. That is what you're going to wake up with and inhabit every day. It's going to go through the cycles and rhythms and change. Be with your body. And anytime we betray ourselves, we often try to shut out, stuff down, numb the sensations of our body. Our body's like, hey, my back hurts. And we're just like, take some pills. Maybe you want to examine the ergonomics, the chair you've been sitting in all day, or some opinions you have about money. Like look into sort of the metaphysical and kinesthetic kinesiology, right? Kinesiology of what's going on, the ergonomics of it, I suppose.
And I would expand that to say, get real simple with it and simply ask the question, just ask yourself, what's obvious? Because we have a tendency with medical and all the rest of it to make things really complicated. Yeah. And it's generally not.
Yeah. Like, slow down and just ask yourself, what is freaking obvious here? Don't make it complicated.
Where are you from?
Somewhere in the South that I have never been. Oh, let's keep it interesting, people. Keep it, but that really, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Keep it simple. Like, keep it simple. Like, trusting yourself. The reason that and here's another fun fact. I get stressed. I'm like the lizard in the movie Rango, where he just freezes. I freeze, and then I go into confusion, and then all my natural barriers are down, so I just become the sponge for everything else. So in that moment when you freeze, or you're in fight, flight, fuck, faint, or whatever, you have to breathe. You have to breathe, and then you get deliberate. Okay, so it turns out I got a lot out of that session. It just took me a minute. It took my brain being all smarty pants to let it bypass into my body. That's fun.
Smarty pants is a good thing, though. Yeah, it's you question things. I like that.
Yeah, question everything, and then you kind of sort through the whey and the chaff. So that's what I'm inviting you to do. Like, anywhere in your life you feel confused or aggressive, or like you want to get out of that situation, just trust that. Fully trust the animal sensations of your body. They're there to be in communion with you. And they're asking, like, hey, they're asking for maybe something as simple as, like, if you lay in bed and you sleep on your back and it gets uncomfortable, what do? You roll on your side. You don't sit there and think, well, should I roll on my side? Like, if I roll on my side, will he love me? Or if I roll on my side, will I get a raise? Or will I not get a raise? No, maybe I should just stay on my back. I should definitely just lay here on my back and, like, just suffer the pain and just not. No. Yeah, roll on your side or your stomach. You follow the sensation to make the adjustment. It's okay. Make the adjustment. Trusting yourself is to say, I don't really know. Wake up every day with the religion of, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I might believe in God. I might believe in something else. I don't know. But, if I feel something, if I feel a sensation and I can do something about it, I'm going to be with my body.
So back to healthy relating or healthy relationships.
Yeah.
So it brought up a memory for me in a relationship where, quite frankly, started sleeping together. And I found myself wanting to roll over on one side with my back to the person. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing I just realized is that you don't do that. If you don't do that, now you're in some sort of strange relating. Mm-hmm. If you're not making yourself comfortable, I mean, you can always say, listen, honey, I'm really sorry, but I got to roll on my side. It's nothing. I mean, whatever. But it is amazing what people do for other people just because they don't want to make people, quote unquote, feel bad or think something else that's not necessarily true.
Aye.
Did we just start another podcast?
Oh, we did. Well, we're going to bleed this one over into codependency next time, folks. But I want to wrap this up to say, like, really, 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 really trust yourself. Trust your body. Trust yourself. Lots of realies there. Lots
6,
of realies.
I counted. Is that right, folks?
Bing, bang, boom. And meditate, and let meditation be you can resist it and push it away, say, I don't have time for it. But if you have time to breathe and you have time to be alive, you have time to meditate. Fact. So I'm going to invite you, as I've done before, to give me feedback on this podcast. And if you do, if you give me feedback, I'll select one of the many people that give me feedback, and I will happily give you a free psychic reading.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Do a drawing.
We'll do a drawing. We'll do something.
Yeah. So how do they do that? They go to, excuse me, heard not seen, go to the contact page, drop the note. Yeah, drop the note. Let me hear back from you. Let's get this rolling. Like, how are you trusting yourself? How are you not trusting? Where are the areas you're struggling with? And where would you like some clarity to move forward? And I really am a psychic that empowers people. I'm not here to, like, be the guru and take your power, but to reinvigorate what you already know and bring it back to life in a shiny, bright way. Buff it off. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, thank you all for listening so much. This is Rebecca Freedom. Be set free.